Here with men's hockey coach Bill Moore. Coach, coming off of a pretty solid weekend this past weekend in non-conference play, a win over Superior and then a two-goal loss to nationally ranked UW Stevens Point. Talk a little bit about the weekend from your perspective.
Well, I think that Friday when we played Superior, we played very, very well. We attacked their defensemen. We had a lot of offensive zone play. Anytime you outshoot a team 41-21, you know that you had a good night. And I think that we could have had 5 or 6 goals. We hit a post. We had pucks that were cleared right off the line. It was a very, very good game for us. So that part of it we were very excited about. Coming into Saturday against Stevens Point, jumping up 1-0 and then jumping up 2-1, we were feeling pretty good about where we were at. Second period, Stevens Point really turned up the heat and showed why they were a top 5 team in the country and pretty much dominated us. I think that the shots were ugly in the second period. I think they outshot us by 15 shots or something like that. Then the third period, we settled down again and came back and played hard. We lost 6-4. They got an empty net goal in there, so it was a solid game. But I think that that second period took a little bit out of the good feeling that we could have had. If we would have played a solid 3 periods rather than getting a little rattled in that second, I would have felt much better about Saturday night's game. But overall, if you go looking ahead at what the weekend was going to be, I guess beating one team and playing the number 4 team in the country or 5 team in the country, whichever poll you're looking at, to 6-4 with an empty netter is still a pretty good weekend. It's
interesting the way the schedule is set up this year. You went showcase, conference, non-conference, conference this weekend with St. John's, then you go non-conference again with Lake Forest next weekend. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Does it make a difference how you play your conference schedule?
Yeah, I really think it does make a big difference because now with the WIAC being a separate conference, with the Wisconsin schools, there's only 5 of them. Well, we can't play a true interlock with all the teams playing on a given weekend when there's 9 MIAC schools and only 5 WIAC schools. So the way they've done it is half the teams will play an interlock with the WIAC, the other half will play a conference, and then the next weekend they switch. Good and bad, the difference I think being is that we jumped right into the conference schedule, and the other teams had an opportunity to play a second weekend before they had to jump into the conference schedule. But it's really no big deal because the team we played was in the same boat we were in. So it doesn't matter. We're going to play them all anyway, and it's all about trying to win your conference games and getting that automatic qualifier so that you get an opportunity at the national tournament.
You open up conference play against St. Thomas, one of the co-champions in the conference, and now this weekend you've got the other co-champion in St. John's. A tough start to the schedule, but the way you guys are playing, you got to be kind of excited about the opportunity to play the Johnnies this weekend.
Absolutely, and especially at home. We've had some decent luck against the Johnnies, even though they were conference champions last year. We split with them up in their place. So, obviously we can't sweep a team unless we win on Friday. So all our focus right now is being placed on Friday night's game. And then we'll see where we go from there and get ready to play Saturday afternoon.
As you start preparing for Friday's game against St. John's, is there a specific point or a specific thing you need to work on to get better at in preparation for St. John's?
Absolutely. Our power play last weekend was terrible. And it's just to show you where we were at, even though our power play was terrible this past weekend, we're still pushing 26 or 27% for the season. So we were doing very well in the first few weekends on the power play. And then this weekend we just hit a wall and we couldn't even get possession in their zone for whatever reason. And so we've been working a lot on the power play. St. John's plays particularly different power play, so we've got to be ready to kill those penalties on that. And then other than that, just trying to get more offensive zone play and net front presence. I think if you look at the video in both Superior and Stevens Point, their goaltender got a good look at an awful lot of shots. We've got to create more traffic in front of the net, so the goaltender has to work through some traffic, through screens, tips. When the rebounds are out, we got somebody right there. We just gave especially Stevens Point goaltender, too many open looks at the puck.
7 goals last week, and 3 of them came from your defenseman. You got to tip your hat to Bob Marks, having 2 goals against Stevens Point. Mike Mazzano got his first collegiate goal. So you're getting some offense from maybe people that the neophyte hockey fans might not expect. Your defensemen are supposed to defend. It's got to be kind of a plus to be getting some good offense from your point people.
Absolutely. If you take that a step further, Mike Walter got 2 goals, and he's a former defenseman that we just moved up to forward. So we've been getting a lot of production out of our third and fourth lines. We just have to get a little bit more consistent production with our first and second line. I think that their problems right now is that they're putting so much pressure on themselves to score that they're kind of handcuffing themselves. So we've been talking to them a lot about relaxing, making sure that they play confident. And again, if you don't have net front presence, the goaltenders are too good. They're going to stop an open shot. So we've got to get somebody in front screening and tipping.
And let's talk about getting that first goal on Friday, because obviously, along with giving you the lead, pretty important to score that first goal in the first period on Friday, a very special night in Teddy Bear Toss. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, Teddy Bear Toss is a blast. The idea is that we collect teddy bears along the previous weeks, and we donate them all to the Salvation Army. And after the first goal that we score, everybody throws their teddy bears out on the ice, and then we clean them up. So it's kind of a contest in the locker room. Everybody wants to be that guy that got the teddy bears thrown out on the ice. So it's a fun game. In the past 2 years, we've been lucky enough to get the first goal. So it was a very, very emotional and uplifting part of the game, momentum building part of the game. So we're hoping that continues this Friday.
And it starts Friday night. You've got St. John's this weekend. Friday's special time, 7:30 p.m. At the St. Mary's Ice Arena, and then 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you very much.